So just when we thought it couldn't get any worse, Pokimane has proven to be even more spineless than we all believed. What started off as her making a tweet regarding the Hasan controversy has turned into an entire Twitter crash out. Now I'm sure most of you guys know about the recent controversy regarding streamer HasanAbi shocking his dog. Well, one of Hasan's good friends, Pokimane, would decide to comment on the situation after her and another streamer named Lily Pichu had a podcast pre-recorded with him. This podcast was set to air only a couple days after the infamous shock took place, and rightfully so, the production team for the podcast did not post the episode, fearing the negative press they might receive. I feel like most people thought this decision made sense. Well, besides Pokimane herself, she would decide to make a tweet basically saying that the production team posted the response without her permission, implying that she actually intended on posting the episode despite everything that happened with Hasan. This made it seem like she was honestly trying to throw her team under the bus, even though them refusing to post the episode was just an attempt to save her ass. Throwing your staff under the bus instead of disavowing animal abuse is something I'd expect from you. Seems like you hired competent people, you should give them a raise. If anything, the response from Poki only made things worse, and this would result in Poki and Lily doing an episode of just them talking, ultimately making Pokimane look like an even bigger fucking idiot.
In France, we filmed, this is how I talk about it on my stream, we filmed a P word with H word, and
Why? Like a Voldemort situation.
yeah, I know. It's to avoid getting clipped. The clip is less interesting,
Oh.
and the quote is less interesting
did you-
when I say P word with
Did you get clipped?
No, I didn't, because I said it in this way. I'm a genius.
Oh yes, Poki, you are such a genius. It's weird how Pokimane was trying to avoid controversy here by shortening the words, because literally days prior, she was the one injecting herself in the situation by making this unnecessary tweet. Let's be honest, guys, if she actually had an issue with her production team and actually wanted to be professional, she would have talked to them behind the scenes, not made a public tweet about it, trying to get impressions on Twitter. Poki tries to be on the moral high ground all the time, but in the end, she's just as much of a clout goblin as every other streamer. She'll inject herself in any controversy, no matter what it is, even if that means that she's doing it at the expense of her own team. Also, guys, please drop a like so we can fight against the Pokimane simps. I'm serious, guys, like, they're actually gonna wage war on me, I'm not kidding. But then she would say something that was just super confusing.
So anyways, when we filmed this podcast and then this whole controversy imploded, we didn't have a straightforward way by which we would make a decision of whether or not to upload it. Some people on staff were not comfortable, some people didn't care, and it's very, like, there wasn't one sole person who could be like, we're doing it, F everyone. And also, none of us are really like that, like, none of us really want to push our opinion onto others. But in my opinion, we just did not have a good process by which to make a decision, or anyone really spearheading or taking responsibility for things, because we were in a transitional period.
It really just baffles me how Pokimane doesn't want to mention the dog at all here. I get it if she's on Hasan's side and she doesn't think he shocked his dog, but she's actively ignoring the situation altogether. To be honest, she's probably just going to use the excuse that she's trying to keep all the negative vibes and controversies out of the podcast, although she herself was the one who got the podcast involved in this controversy in the first place. Not only that, but her making this tweet included the entire podcast into it. She basically took the entire thing down with her. And I mean, this is something that you can't even deny. If Pokimane was really this upset about the episode not being uploaded, then why didn't she just upload it herself? Pokimane, you are the host of this podcast, the boss of literally the entire staff team. If you had this big of an issue with your team refusing to upload this episode, why didn't you just do it yourself? It's so crazy how people don't realize this is all just a PR stunt by Poki. A PR stunt to get more people talking about her and watch your podcast. This is the take even XQC would agree with.
I was being non-harsh about Pokimane. I'm gonna be harsh now. Pokimane, you cannot do that. You cannot blame the staff and say you don't agree with this and then do exactly what this says. This says we won't upload. You say, no, we disagree with that. So, in that spirit, we're not uploading. If you don't agree with not uploading, then you upload it. What? If I'm supposed to go into work today and my friend calls and says, yo, X is not coming in because he says, fuck you all, right? And then I see that and I can still make it to work. And I go, guys, I'm not the one who said that, by the way. And I hang up. And then I don't go to work. Well, that's fucking terrible. That's fucking stupid. I would just go to work. So that proves that I don't really ever called in.
It's crazy how stupid Pokimane actually is. The only reason she would make this post is if Poki knew that her fans were actual idiots. She knows if she really wanted the episode uploaded, it would have been uploaded. We have to remember that Poki is the host of this podcast and most likely the one who's paying all the employees. Therefore, it should be undeniable. The decision on if the podcast is uploaded is completely reliant on her, making the way she acted throughout the entire podcast just way more strange.
I think in an effort to clarify where I was coming from, like I didn't mean to throw staff under the bus so much. And at the end of the day, like the responsibility of the podcast is mine and Lily's solely. But that's also why when we hadn't approved the statement, it didn't feel so good. That's something reflected on us when we did not know at all that it was going to come out. The statement, I mean. I want to clarify really everybody's intentions, and also to staff, I want to clarify, like, I know your guys' intention. I'm not mad at anybody in this situation. I was more so, if anything, upset at myself because the podcast that is mine, there was not a clear structure and process by which we follow to get people's approvals before things go out, before decisions are made, etc. And so unfortunately, this happened in a very, very unlucky time where we are moving roles around and things are moving around, and yeah.
This still doesn't clear up the question of if Pokimane actually wanted to upload the episode, then why didn't she upload it? We guess she's restructuring the podcast and everything like that, but that still doesn't clear up the fact that she threw her entire staff team under the bus about posting something without her permission and refusing to upload the episode of the podcast that she herself could have just overruled and uploaded anyways. I feel like this is one of the biggest issues with certain streamers. Many of them are just so out of touch with reality, it's insane. I know I'm gonna get lots of hate for saying that, but it's the honest truth, and anyone who isn't delusional knows it. I also want to clarify that obviously not every streamer is like this. However, Pokimane is the prime example of someone who uses her fans for her own benefit. Someone who acts all cute on stream for subs and donations, but she knows damn well that she doesn't even want to talk to 90% of her fans, because most of them are just guys that look like this. It's just a really fucked up situation, and I don't think it's entirely Poki's fault. Although, with her recent response on the podcast regarding Hasan, it's just so cringe the way she decided to handle it. She didn't even say Hasan's name because she wants to try and minimalize it as much as possible, even though it would have been better if she took some sort of accountability. Anyways, make sure to drop a comment down below on your thoughts on this entire situation. Drop a like, it's absolutely free and it does help out the video a ton, and subscribe for more videos just like this as I'm uploading almost every single day. Shout out to the channel member on screen as we recently opened them up and I really haven't promoted them much, but if you want a shout out at the end of each of my videos, then do become a channel member. It's only $1 a month, by the way. Anyways though, I appreciate you all so much for watching. It's been your boy Janky and I'm out. Peace.